Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a Legacy Challenge. I've had a few Legacy Challenge points come through on Twitch, so I thought it's worth trying to find some time to actually do one, because it is quite tough in Australia to do Legacy Challenges on MTGO. They are Saturday at 10 PM and Monday morning at 2 AM, so if you want to do the Sunday one, you probably want to take Monday off work, and then the Saturday ones are just obviously after a full day, starting a challenge at 10 PM isn't too great, but really want to test this out and see how it goes. This list before you is Naya Depths. I am targeting Delver a little bit harder with this version, with the 2 main deck Endurance, the 2 Prismatic Endings as well, and also the 1/1 split of Minsk instead of 2 main deck. Also playing the second Taiga and the Wooded Foothills. So to fit it all in, I am playing 61, which I'm usually pretty happy to do in this sort of list with the amount of tutor ability we have. The other card I wanted to test out on the board was Surgical Extraction. I don't like losing to Reanimator, and we've played against it, or at least I've seen it a few times in challenges, and I've also lost a fair bit to Cephalid Breakfast, which has also been showing its face in challenges, so it'll be interesting to see if these Surgicals come up, just where Endurance isn't always enough, but the only other thought was playing the 3rd Endurance over the 2nd Surgical, but Surgical in your opener is just where you want it to be for the decks where you want Surgical against, so having the 2 copies is really nice, and hopefully it doesn't come up. Hopefully we play against a lot of sort of fair mid-rangey decks and see how that goes, but yeah, it was between Death and Taxes, Maverick, and Depths, and I think right now Depths is just a little bit too hard not to take to a challenge if you are going to take one of those 3 decks. Just nice to have the kind of I win button of Marat Lage, and then obviously just being quite well known with the deck and knowing the ins and outs of the deck is a pretty huge factor in considering which options I should go with, so we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure it should be starting any second now. Okay, there we're good. Hey Tony, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Oh. Yeah, Surgical can be really nice there, especially when they have things like Engineers to go and get anything back out of the deck. Alright. Up against Philaday. We're definitely going on the play, which is nice. They're pretty good hand. Turn 1 Elvish Reclaimer. Probably just pitching the plains. That means we can then play the fetch land as well if we want to turn on straight away. Start with Mox. Pitch the plains. I will play Windswept Heath here because it means that if the elf does survive, that next turn, just by activating it, it gets it out of bolt range. Happy to get Savannah. Nice. Not too sure what we're up against. Okay. This is probably going to be some sort of Thassa's Oracle deck or like an Echo Karn deck. Which is really interesting because right now we kind of have the combo, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy to take this turn just to Wasteland our opponent. You don't often get a chance to do so. I could hold up Reclaimer here and go and get a Flagstones to then go and keep comboing, but I don't mind attacking here. To be fair, I think my opponent's also just like 20 life is just going to be 20 life. I don't think I have to, you know, take my opponent down to 18 or past that so that like an Uro doesn't allow them to go above 21. So I kind of like just holding up Reclaimer here. Flagstones also allows me to get another Wasteland, which is pretty cool. Endurance is nice. I do have to remember that Karn does turn off my Mox Diamond. Is that relevant right now? Not really. But I might as well float. Guess I might as well float green. Okay. Alright, so I will need... They can get bridge with the Karn, but we do have Prismatic Ending, which is nice. So get a Savannah. My only thought is we get Yavimaya, because that allows us to go off with the combo, but then also have access to at least 2 colors to get rid of a Ensnaring Bridge. The question is, how much do I care about the Ancient Tombs? Like, is there a world where I want Wasteland here? Have time to think, which is nice. If I get Wasteland, I have to use it to activate the Dark Depths. But if I get Yav here, then I can just play Depths, attack with Reclaimer. If I get Wasteland, I then play Depths, and then we have the 20/20 anyway. I could get Taiga, that turns on any color off the top. Maybe that is it. Just get ready for... Night. So definitely happy to attack Karn here. This also turns on Endurance if I really need to. They get Bridge. Play Saga. Okay. Play the Bridge. Do they also have an Echo? Or an LED? No. Well, we're definitely making it. Close. The big question for me here is how much do I care about the Karn? Because if I don't attack the Karn here, I can hold up Crop for Sajiri Step, and then get rid of Sajiri Step to go and get 2 lands to then untap and Prismatic Ending. Which I think is just my best bet here. Just gonna make sure that I have lands left. I have Forest and I have Plateau left. So I think we actually do just pass here. Hold up Crop. And then Reclaimer. Just trying to think if there's anything that gets me by not doing that, but I think we're fine here. Yeah. Just having a quick look. So we have just want to make sure I do this right. Chrome Mox is going to be fine. It does allow them to potentially Force of Negation if they play that, so I might want to respond to this. So let's quickly bring this up and then bring this up. Plains is gone. Savannah's gone. We have Savannah in play and we have a Taiga in play. Okay, so we can still go and get this Taiga or Plateau and Forest. So I think in response to this, I'm just going to get rid of this Taiga. Get Flagstones. Flagstones gets Plateau and Forest. The land in their graveyard is one that comes in tapped with counters on it, and you can take a counter off it to allow it to tap for 2. I think I'm happy here just to get Forest. Hardcast Force of Will. Oh, there's the Force of Negation. Okay. One, two, it'll be a 3/3. Tough. Hey Death, welcome. Hey Cass. Doing pretty good. Spell bomb. Definitely a game of inches. They only have 2 cards in hand. They're also so close just to getting Lattice here. Tough. We are locked out, but I just want to see more of their deck. This is game 1. There are no outs. Just in case if I can see any more targets for Saga. Library does look cool like that for sure. But yeah, really tough. Always, it all comes back to not attacking that Karn and holding up for the win. When maybe we should have played the board, but it's really hard to play around Force Negation. But surely they can Karn for like a Tormund's Crypt or something. Take out our creatures and then just bounce the Marit Lage and swing them with 2 14/14s. I guess the bridge is stopping that, so that's pretty funny. Huh. So they need a way to get rid of their Ensnaring Bridge? Or, I guess because they can't attack with the constructs. How do they do it? Oof, Swords to Plowshares actually looks sweet. Alright, chat, what's the route? How do they get rid of Ensnaring Bridge? to attack with the constructs. Is there a way they can win with Karn? Don't believe they play Smokestack. Yeah, Ballista potentially. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at that. Like, that is... that is pretty nice. Make it a creature bounce. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. There we go. Auto wire their own bridge. There we go. Alright. Boarding. Boarding is going to be pretty interesting. Not a big fan of the libraries. I think they play Hullbreacher and Narset. That's a pretty easy switch. I don't mind some number of blasts, but probably not all. Obviously the Collector Ufanat Land Liberator, the Minsk is also pretty relevant. The Moxen I could see shaving, the Bajuka Bog potentially. Swords are still nice, just to get rid of Hull Breaches, etc. Safekeeper's great against the bounce. Crop I could see coming out. Endurance I could see being scratched. Path isn't really needed, I don't think. Could trim down on Swords to Plowshares potentially. I think my plan is just trying to combo as quickly, but with some amount of protection. Green Suns, Prismatic Endings. I could see A swords coming out, especially the Blast Sin. I don't mind the tower. I think tower is just better than bog. Could also see Caracas coming out. It's There's not too much to protect or throw with Caracas, and that's 61. Safekeeper, Prismatics, Elemental Blast, Swords of Ashes. Yeah. This is a tough one, as it doesn't really do a whole lot. We do have Crop for Wasteland off the Trop, which is kind of nice. I don't miss Gaddock too much. Gaddock's a little bit slow for the combo decks, and a lot of those blue-white X control decks are kind of playing things like Dress Down and their own Caracas with Minsk in the format, which is pretty tough. And Trap, I think with Trap I've just kind of accepted that I'm not going to beat the turn 0, turn 1 starts from combo. That I'm happy to, if I get the chance to drop a Deafening Silence, then that's going to be all I can do. We have one piece of the combo. We have Flagstones. Swords back up. I don't mind it, but I could definitely see someone getting rid of it. It's nice that I can cast all my spells. I guess if I was scared of like a turn 1 Hull Breacher, I should have just played out the Mox Diamond. Oh wow, they're just going to daze I'm doing right now. I guess I should keep up. They've already played a Tomb. So I don't think it's likely they can get a Narset or Hull Breacher in play again. And then LED into Echo. So I don't mind just using this Crop. Maybe not. Maybe I'd rather the land drop. Yeah. Okay. Not too bad. Yeah, I guess if we go Mox there, we can crop into... we could play Flagstones, play Mox, and then crop into land and Wasteland. I think we just play Stage into Liberator. But with 7 in hand, it's pretty tough. Don't really have a better play. Rather hold the Green Suns in case we get to Green Suns for oof. But now I'm pretty scared. Alright, we draw 1. Hey Jerry, too kind. Yeah, silence would have been cool. Maybe silence was a thought. But not too much we can do there. I'm gonna have a break. I'll be back for round 2 shortly. Right, on the play, which is really nice. And a hand with a mana just sadly doesn't line up. And I'm not really keen on keeping hands with no green mana, so pretty happy to mulligan this. This is better. We can just put away a step. And go from there. I'm going to lead on Savannah because it means I can hold up Sword, but it does open me up to the possibility of losing it to Wasteland. However, we do have Yav into Wasteland into Library to find the other white source, so we'll see how this checks out. Okay. They chose to shuffle, which kind of makes me want to just Wasteland here. Like, we still have all the play in the world to get this library into play as well, so... Probably happy to lead on stage here. I don't want to show the Yavimaya just yet. Now this is pretty interesting. I could try to slam the library, or we could go Wasteland on the Vulcan, and next turn we can play Reclaimer as a 3/4. I don't mind Library. Like, if Library picks up a Daze, that's not the worst. Playing Reclaimer here as a... I don't like playing Reclaimer here as just a 1/2. They shuffled with the Ponder. They played a Wasteland. They played a Scalding Tarn. I think I just have to go for the Wasteland here. A little bit tough because they have the DRC online, but... to try to buy that extra turn is really nice. It also stops a 2 spell turn next turn. Okay, nice. That's pretty great as well. Okay. There goes an expressive iteration. At least that's one less iteration that can get them back into card parity level with that Force of Will. Depends on my draw step, but I'm not too sure how I want to navigate next turn. I think it's Plateau, Swords, the Dragon Rage Channeler around Daze, and then just play the library into Daze. I could also say if the library sticks, that I am happy just throwing a Swords away. Wow, they go for the stage. Interesting. I didn't expect that. Pretty happy to Swords. And then grow my mana. Which next turn with a land allows me to play both of these around days. Okay. So they've used 2 Wastelands. We know about the Volk. But they play Misty. Okay. Hopefully this is just Brainstorm. Okay. So now they have Island, Volcanic, and something else. Nice. It's pretty great with a crop because it means that a Force of Will on the crop isn't too bad. Oh, I probably I guess because I have the Swords, I don't care about Murktide too much, but I could have potentially just cropped in Upkeep or End of Draw Step to hit them. Don't want to crop just yet, because I want to draw up maybe one piece of the combo, and then go from there. EI nothing. Okay. Not great, but it does allow me to like top deck a 4-drop and play it, which is nice. And I think getting the ability of it is better than playing the Mox Time in there. But have a fair few live draws. Even Green Suns would be nice. I'll probably just Green Suns for 2. Or at least for 1 and get Elvish Reclaimer. Chose to shuffle. Alright. So we don't know what's coming from the top. There's a stage. Honestly, I think we just try to go for it here. To play around Wasteland. And if they have Force Negation, they could just hardcast it anyway, so... Sorry. Probably didn't even need to play the stage. Like that's just a pretty easy force, yeah. It's pretty silly for me. Just gonna hold the stage here. I don't need to copy the island. But I do have to draw pretty live here. They have one card left. Ooh, nice. I think we're just going for Knight here. Because that gives us access to the 2020 next turn. It's also pretty big. Also, that kind of tells me that they don't have a blue card or force in hand, because I think if they did, they would have baubled us in end step to draw in their turn, so that they have force blue card in hand potentially for a threat. Okay, going pretty wide. Which honestly might just be enough for them, unfortunately. Put us to 11, then like we block here. If these flip, yeah, it gets concerning. Okay, that's pretty nice. I think I'm just gonna make it upkeep. No, I might want to. I guess we can see what it flips. No flip. No flip. Play around Wasteland. We also have Sajiri Step open. This doesn't have Pro yet. Still an upkeep, they're going to bolt me. Ooh, but now this has to attack. Ah, maybe they're gonna try to find second bolt. They chose to shove. Oh, they have no cards now. No, opponent, because now they have to attack with both. We go down to 2. We get to block here. I guess we can actually block the Murktide and then just give Pro on the way back, so... Yeah, I don't think they should have done that. I think if they tried to keep it... I guess, yeah, because they... yeah, they couldn't have, because they have to give... they can't give, like, they can't put Ponder in the bin. They have to have an instant speed spell, so it actually doesn't work for... Yeah, it doesn't work for them either way. Oh, but they're at 22. Interesting. That changes a lot. That's pretty good. Yeah, take that all back. It does grow. I think here I'm supposed to just attack with the Knight. And then at worst case, if they have Brazen Borrower, they flip Borrower, it's pretty tough if they have Borrower in the main deck, but I think I'm just supposed to attack with the Knight here. What does that achieve? Not a whole lot. I think I'd rather just hold up Sajiri Step or hold up Wasteland. Or hold up just getting the combo again. That's also pretty good. I probably should have done that in end step as well, get one piece of the combo, and then this turn I could hold up the combo again to kind of give Marit Lage pseudo vigilance. But yeah, even there, let's be honest, like I should have attacked with the Marit Lage. But yeah, just sloppy plays. Do I care? I think I will still. Like another Murktide is a little bit rough. We're not just dead to the Bolt, thankfully, because we do have 2 blockers in Endurance as well. But definitely close. Oh wow, they're just conceding? I don't really understand that, but okay. Minsk out, libraries out, we want the blast effects, we want the paths. That's really it. Ramen up's still okay. I could see a crop coming down. Safe. I can see Safekeeper coming out. They do have other effects to bounce, but I think I'm okay just taking out that. Yeah, I think there is a few outs there for my opponent, but see what happens here. I'm pretty happy with this. The extra removal, of course, is really nice. Path is tough because, like, against like a turn 1 Mother of Runes or a turn 1 Elf against Elves, Path is just pretty horrible. But I think just the flexibility of Path against Blue-Red Murktide specifically is just so good. And also things like Reanimator. It's nice to have like another source to Plowshare's effect. To be fair, in some cases better, because against like Grizzlebrand, you don't want to give them an extra 7 life. If they aren't already at, you know, below 7. Hey Cirrus, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Definitely an interesting hand. Like, the mana here just isn't great, but we are on the draw. But I'm just not a big fan of it. Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it. Honestly, a little bit better, but not really there, but I'm happy to keep it in bottom of the Dryad Arbor. Double removal spell is quite nice. We can also just lead on Forest, potentially. Steam Vents. Yeah, no Choke. Choke just hasn't really been doing it for me these days. Taiga. Okay. Pretty happy to play around Daze here, and also just save my white source for 1 more turn. I really respect Daze, and losing Savannah there to a Wasteland is just pretty terrible. No second land is pretty huge though. Oof. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to Wasteland here more than anything. Does put me in a spot where I'm kind of just time walking myself a little bit, but I think we're doing okay. Hey, thank you very much, Cirrus. Let me know where you're from, what you do, where you're from, what you play. Sorry, if you have a local legacy scene, would love to know. Surgical and Wasteland's fine, it's just 1 more card they lose, but they did get to see what's on top, which I assume is a land if they kept it. a very strong pickup. Also don't want a 6 here because for all my opponent knows I could have picked up crop rotation. We also know they didn't have a land, so if they had Wasteland it would have to be off the top. They didn't cantrip last turn either, which is pretty big. Yeah, the Wasteland was a very good rip off the top. You're from Spain, play Naya Depths. Providing a Legacy League, very cool. That's awesome to see. Huh, okay. I think here... so they have 3 cards. We haven't allowed them to play a Daze yet. I don't mind just getting rid of 1 and then green sunning for Dried Arbor here. Just allows us to potentially play this Endurance around Daze next turn as well. Also showing that we might have Pyroblast by showing up holding up the Taiga. Brainstorm, alright. But yeah, Surgical, an interesting one. It is another way to attack the Dark Depths combo, outside of just having bounce effects. But it obviously does put you down a card unless you know that we have something in hand, or get a Wasteland from hand. Putting Brazen Borrower into the bin as well is something I haven't seen before. Seems like a pretty good card in the matchup, so they're obviously digging for something, and potentially it's just mana. Oh, they're going to... I'm pretty happy to trade this, I think. Maybe not. I think actually, like, if I don't draw a land here and I play this and lose to Daze, that feels pretty bad. I'm pretty happy to take the 1 here. And then have the Endurance as my removal spell against DRC. Mox. I'm gonna hold this, because there is a world where my opponent plays Wasteland and goes after my white source or my red source. So let's go for Dark Depth. Go for Endurance, tapping like this, because then if it resolves we can attack with the Dried Arbor as well. Hey, Alop. I went down to Karn Echo. Pretty swiftly in game 2, but a lot of different scenarios in game 1, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's very true. I'm not a big fan of Surgical in these sort of matchups, but maybe they have some sort of plan. Wow, pitching a Murktide. I'm pretty happy to hold back the Dried Arbor now. It makes them have to have a artifact or a sorcery to make the DRC bigger. Another Brainstorm. Another DRC in the bin. Maybe they're just trying to find a land. Like, bottoming second DRC makes me think they don't have a second land to back it up with. You still have a pretty good chance brainstorming into one, even if you keep the DRC there with 2 more cards. Alright. And there it is. I wouldn't even mind a fetch land off the top or a wasteland, because then we could play this knight as a 4/4. And hey, to all of you watching this, a huge thank you. Apologies for my misplay so far, but I very much appreciate you watching and taking part. Alright, what do we get? Okay, that's pretty good. That kind of makes me want to start with... They haven't bolted anything yet. Like, I could try to play around... I think I'm just going to go with knight here. Swordsing now means we can attack with the Dryad Arbor and then get things going. Watching while waiting the Legacy tournament to start up. Very cool. Very cool. Murktide is a bit of an issue, especially if they go like a Bolt Land Murktide. But if they're Bolt Land Murktide, that's just magic right now. Okay, Wasteland's not too bad. Reclaim is pretty nice. Still small, but it can get there. Ugh. I'm gonna hold this. I don't really need it in play right now, especially during one cut a turn. First round went down to Karn Echo. Okay, nothing from them, but they do nearly have access to that spell that'll allow Mystic Sanctuary. There we go. I guess we can't. Yeah, we can actually draw into our Wasteland. That's very true because of the surgical. I will play this. I wonder if they fetch here and try to get the Ponder back? If they fetch once, surely. Okay, they're probably going to wait till what we play. Delver I don't really care about here. Nice. Play the knight. I guess I could have baited with the swords, but I'm also okay with just this. The Delver flips no matter what. I will play the Wooded Foothills. And pass. Oh. It looks like my MTGO is crashing. Oh no, their clock is going down. It's all good. There we go. Can you imagine if Paducah Bog was a forest? Can you imagine? Can you imagine right now? Society isn't ready for that. Love it. Okay. Getting back the Brainstorm makes me think they have either a fetch land or they want to upkeep, make sure they flip the Delver. I guess they do because the Brainstorm's on top. I'm pretty happy just to Swords in response to this. Really want to make sure it's off the field. And we have a backup one for Murktide, which is nice. Just being in increments of 3 is pretty tough, so even taking 1 hit from that Delver does mean that, like, obviously Lightning Bolt and other pesky flyers can be lethal. Maverick Joe, if Leo was Abzan, it would have been so good. I think it would have done so much for 4-color Loam, especially during that era. It would have been huge. Like, Abzan Loam would have been sweet. Alright, we get to untap. Unless if we draw one piece of the combo, I'm probably just going for Bog and Upkeep. Are they thinking about Submerge here? No. Caracas is largely dead, so I'm actually not going to play it here. I'm not going to attack either. Alright. Yeah, I think, I guess I could start going for... Yeah, I think Bog. Just because currently I only have the 1 Swords. At least 1-drops take a fair while to get online. And I think if I was going to go for the combo, I should have left the forest there to go for Thespian Stage and then just copy the forest straight away, so that it can't be wastelanded. No shuffle. Delver. Yep. That's fair. Not too bad though, like on this board I don't really mind during the night. Like a force is fine. Then out of 0 cards we can see what we flip here with the Delver. They flip a Force of Negation, so we should just Swords now. We know now they have Force of Negation. It's pretty good. I will play the Mox and pitch the land just because this becomes a 6/6 now, which becomes a 7/7 with the Foothills. I think that Wasteland will stay there for a little while now. There's no great targets anyway. So we still know about Force of Negation. Reclaim is pretty nice. I think you're just going to get in. Okay. There's that Submerge we talked about. I guess I could Wasteland a fetch land, but I'm happy just to let that go anyway. So 2 cards, one is Force of Negation. But this is the type of Magic that I like playing against Delver, like turn 18. Ah, interesting, they're going to make us shuffle. Okay. We drew a lot of live drawers. We did take out the Minskers against Delver. This is game 2, but the amount of creatures we have is really nice. And having the prismatic ending for any sort of 1-drop is more than acceptable as well. There's only one card that I don't want to see, and I think this is it. Oh no, okay, well I guess that is a card I don't want to see, but there's another one that's pretty bad. This is currently game 2. We haven't seen a Blast yet, we haven't seen a Path, so 2 really good answers to Murktide. I don't want to put myself into bolt range, that's the only thing. With fetching, I don't think it's worth it. Oh yeah, we could get rid of the flagstones. I think I will do that. No Maze of Ith in this list. What have I got? Guess another flagstones isn't too bad. Tough. Pretty happy to run this back, honestly. There's nothing that I would really change. I could see a library coming back in for that sort of situation, but it's always tough to like have the library and then they just have like 3 creatures in play. So I'm not a big fan of it. You really need to have like good control over the board, and if you have good control over the board, you're probably just winning anyway. It can be really tough in that spot. I think like the virtual card advantage is pretty huge though, so like playing around Daze, playing around Lightning Bolt to some extent. No lands. A little bit better. I'll keep this, and then it's pretty tough to know what to drop here, but it's probably the I really want the Mox Diamond, of course, because it's my white source. And I really want to be greedy and keep all 3 spells and the Mox. But I kind of also want like 3 lands. Could be Path. And then just make sure I can make my land drops. Probably should have dropped the Dark Depths there as well. Just allows me to make sure I can cast all my spells. And of course the Yav and Dark Depths work pretty well together. That does change things. Okay. I don't mind just playing that as a land. I can play this game all day. Okay, I probably want to go towards the combo over 2 turns, and Blast allowing me to protect it is quite nice. I can turn this one into stage. Pretty happy to try to blast that. It's gonna force back. Okay. That's pretty huge. Going after crop. Oh, now you're down a card again. No flip fetch. I'm assuming it was just a land on top. Pretty good. Okay. What do they show? Nothing. They don't wasteland me? That's interesting. Waste this? Waste that. Get rid of this so you can't submerge. Stage. Whoa. Close. Copy. Make. Ah. Tough. Okay. Well, 2 can fight this fight. Don't be it. Don't be it. No attacks? Ooh. Oh, we don't have a... We don't have a forest to get rid of, so I have to attack. They have to block with something. And then they... Oh, they block like that? Why? The Brazen Burrower is 3, and then if that flips, it's lethal. This way... Please? Okay. They need an instant. They need an instant. Jeez. Tough. So close. Wait, what are they doing now? Murktide's fine. Okay. Oh, so close to giving pro. Can't get pro jokes. They have 2 different colors. They have red and they have... Oh, can this block? Yeah, it can block. Tough. What do I have that's green? Nothing really. Yeah, it turned out the fumble was the play. Man. Yeah. Tough. Really tough. Alright, on the play, back for round 3. Pretty sweet hand. Pretty happy to keep this. Turn 1 Reclaimer. Probably just holding up turn 2 as a 3-4, and probably just going for it straight away as well. Also nice to go fetch fetch. Just gonna go for Savannah into Reclaimer. Okay. That is going to be more than fine. That makes me want to play the fetch out here. I just get another Savannah. So I do want to get the basics here because we can get the basics off Reclaimer. I really just want to make sure Reclaimer is a 3/4. So I think probably going for the Tager in this matchup is fine because that's the card I can just pitch here. Okay. That's really aggressive. Pretty happy here just to Dryad Arbor into second Reclaimer potentially. Or just hold up the Reclaimer as well. I think that's actually better. Just gonna hold up the combo here with Reclaimer. They only have 2 cards left. They can't. I guess they could have Dead Gone in the main deck, but yeah, nothing, which is nice. Mono red. We like the Force of Vigors, the Collect Oofs, the Minsk, the Parts. Endurances. Ramanap's still fine. The Mox Diamonds aren't too bad. The Sword's obviously great. The Libraries I can see coming down as well. The deck can just be a little bit too aggressive. Safekeeper. Caracas. And Bog. Just play 27 lands with 3 Mox Diamonds is fine. I think that's pretty good. The Reclaimers make this matchup, especially on the play, a lot better, because it means you don't have to start off on your basics. You can obviously churn into them with its crop rotation effect, which is really nice. The Minsks are great as well, because it means you only need 1 green source, just like Green Suns, to actually get a threat on board. I'm not sure if my opponent even drew that turn. Yeah, they did, okay. I was gonna say, like, they might not have Dead Gone in the deck. I guess they could have it sideboard. A little bit dead to Wasteland, but I think it's worth it. Even though it's pretty open to Blood Moon. Like, we have access to Plain, to Forest. Okay. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. It's just the luck you sometimes need. I don't want to draw basic forest either, so I'm just going to fetch for it right now. Nice. Play flagstones. Play reclaimer, hold up path. Hey Hopfrog, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Hope your weekend's going well. Red, Rabblemaster, sure. I don't really care about this. Like, I don't have to path it. Because I really just care about Magus of the Moon, if anything. And even if they do have, like, some sort of removal spell for the Reclaimer, we can path it, go to 3 mana, play the stage next turn, which gives us access to 1 for crop and then 2 for creating the token. Opponent just taking a break on us. I kind of like cropping here for a fetch land. That allows me to hold up. Yeah, it allows me to hold up the Reclaimer as a 3/4 against this. And then also allows me to hold up Reclaimer's ability, which is pretty sweet. So, pretty nice wins there. We'll see you in game 4. Alright, we're on the play for match number 4. With a pretty rough hand. Not going to keep it, mainly for land issues. Probably happy to keep this and just bottom 1 knight. Has a little bit of everything, which is nice. Also pretty happy to lead on the Taiga. But I could see a world where Savannah's better, because like Savannah into Reclaimer into untap like Wasteland Prismatic Ending in the same turn is pretty cool, so pretty happy to see where this goes. Planes, swords. Okay. Not too unhappy with that. Stage is really nice here, especially with the stage. Oh, is this going to be Maverick? I guess it could be the mirror. Well, pretty happy to play knight here. I have to wait for next turn if I want to be able to crop into a protection spell at the same time. No end-step removal spell is pretty great. Wasteland, okay. Is it going to be their own knight? They can't prismatic ending here, which is great. Safekeeper's fine. Just Safekeeper? They're going to try to save it. Okay. Do I want to do anything in response? They get a Reclaimer, which is fine. I think here I'm happy to try to copy the Wasteland. And see if they want to do anything. I think I just want to try to catch them off guard with potentially double Wasteland. So I could Wasteland the Savannah. Hard to look happy at 1 AM. So the Wasteland obviously stops the Dark Depths combo here, but we do have Knight to go and fetch up. We also have the Crop, which is nice. Could double Waste. We could trip. Oh, we can't triple Wasteland, but we could get pretty close. Hope you're well, Rick. I think I'd rather just play at instant speed here. Potentially, it's worth just trying to take them off. Happy to keep going for it. I don't want to get rid of the Wasteland just yet. Maybe I do because of the Reclaimer, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, they get a Yav. Oh. Now that's really interesting because now Dark Depths taps for mana. If I get Wasteland here, they do get access. Maybe it's the Flagstones that I actually want. Yeah. This way we still have crop rotation open. Oh, Iron Reclaimer. If they get a Flagstones here, I'm pretty happy to get rid of the Yav to take them off that. But then probably hold the crop just in case of a removal spell. Pretty happy to attack here. If they block and get Bog, we have crop rotation to save us anyway. So we'll see if they get Bog, because then we can still get them. This is fine. Crop rotate this away. I think it is Bog because it makes them 1/2s. Yeah, and then I get to kill one. which I'm pretty happy with. I think that's fine. Guess if they have Minsk here, we still have, oh, but no, they have Knight. Okay. Woof. It's pretty huge. I think I'm just going to wait to see what they do, and if they tap off this Reclaimer. Just untap. We both used Bogs. I don't mind getting mine in the bin for an endurance. Okay. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if that makes me want to go for endurance myself, or Sylvan Safekeeper. Probably Safekeeper. They do nothing. Huh. Interesting. Library's pretty huge. Ooh. They still have Caracas. But to be fair, we do have Sylvan Safekeeper. That's actually pretty interesting. Minsk this turn. Do I lose much here by attacking? I guess they can get step, but I think I'd rather just hold it back and then try to see if we can protect this boo the whole way. I wonder if this makes me want to wasteland the Yav to see if they use the Knight or not. I don't mind that. And see if we can use the white here to hit it with swords. Yes. Yes. Actually, I think I just let this happen, to be fair. I think maybe next turn I can start looking at that. Because next turn I can potentially... I could have also used the Knight to get rid of it. I didn't even think of that. I should have actually, yeah, used the Yav to get rid of it and get something else before I... Yeah, mistake. Big mistake. Well, they only drew one card? Okay. Now they don't have double green for endurance, which is interesting. This is fine. I should have used the Knight in their turn as well to go and get Wasteland, to Wasteland the Caracas in response, but that's all good. Wow, this can concede to that? I don't know. They mustn't have anything. I feel like that's an early concession, but maybe I just don't know their hand. I always find the mirror kind of tough. The path's obviously fantastic. The extra Minsk is fantastic. I don't mind the Outland Liberator. I don't want the Force of Vigors. The libraries are great. The endurances are great. The green suns are great. I don't mind just like going down to 1 depths. The Mox Diamond starts are typically pretty good, but there is a world where I just don't want it because it's just such a bad top deck. But then you got to start cutting lands, and that's where it gets a little bit awkward. And with the Mox Summons and the Minsk and Boos, it's really nice to be able to get them out quickly. Really tough. I could see a world where you like bring in the Oof and then take out the Moxen as a way to target their Moxen. It's pretty loose, but we are 1 and 2, so it doesn't really matter. I don't mind taking out both depths, just seeing how this plan goes. Probably comes back to boarding structure as well. This hand is pretty nice. Having the bog is quite nice. Okay. Pretty happy to, yeah, wasteland the Taiga here. The Dried Upper can be removed a few other ways. But no extra land. Wow. I don't want to path this just yet, I don't think. See what they grab. It's probably Tiger I care about the least. This is actually a tough one. My plan was kind of to wasteland them off green and then path the Reclaimer, but they can just get a basic from that anyway, which makes it pretty awkward in the early game. Yeah. Can still take them off green here for a turn, which I think is worth it. Wasteland's probably my best draw. Our own Minsk. I think game 3 I definitely want those Moxen back in, because Mince just takes over the game so quickly. No attacks. Interesting. I wonder if they get Bog. Because there is a world where Knight and then Minsket could get there. Sadly no great blocks here, because if we block and then they get a land and then go and get Bajuka Bog, we just lose the Knight as a 2-2. No attacks. Hey Fex, a big thank you for the sub. I don't think we have a great out here. Still can't block. I don't think we have a great way of getting out of that, which is tough. Let's bring back the Moxes. Oof can definitely come out. That's an easy choice. I still like the Endurances. Really tough to know what to drop down on. I don't mind something like this. Okay, Turbo Minsk. Not really what I'm looking for. It's pretty good. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna Green Suns for 3 but get Safekeeper and see if they do anything in response. Oh, nothing? Wow, they're just going to concede to that. Rough. Well, nice to get up for sure. Not much to say about that. I think if anything I have actually a pretty tough time with boarding, and I should actually go back and just look at sort of my boarding map, because I feel like I'm making too many decisions on the spot when I should just know a little bit more clearly what I want to take out, what I want to put in. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, I'm going to take a quick break. Hey, DN Silver, and I'll be back shortly. All right, up against Cap on the play again. Nuts. Pretty happy to keep this. Hold up to sword turn 1. We also have endurance if needed, and then also the Sylvan Library is really nice. Opponent goes to 6 cards. Pretty happy to swords here just because we're following up with the library. I actually like the Windswept Heath here because it potentially turns on Fetch or Wasteland into Reclaimer next turn if the library resolves. They didn't daze these Swords to Plowshares, but they daze this. So they have a little bit of patience going. And that's probably why. Mox? Oof, close. Pretty happy just to hold up endurance here. Guess we'll see what they flip first. They don't flip. Hey Ramar, welcome. Hope you're well. A Wasteland here is actually quite nice because it turns the Reclaimer into a 3/4. Which gives us 2 3/4 bodies, which is really nice. Okay. Now we can just hold the fort for a bit and potentially just get there with the 2020. Yeah, endurance resolving there was not something I thought would happen. One, two, three. I could get Safekeeper here if I really wanted to. I could also just go for another... see if it resolves, but I don't even mind just getting another Reclaimer. Yeah, honestly. And then I don't even mind just getting the clock going. Put them to 17 this turn. Worst case, next turn is probably 6. But I assume it's 4. Actually, no, probably just 3. You could say that's pretty aggressive, but I think with this board, and especially with them pretty tight on mana, I'm pretty happy just to keep going, especially when we have next turn just Depths make the 2020 pass. Like if their turn is Wasteland pass, I'm very happy with that. They chose not to shuffle, but they did fetch. Okay. Bolt me? Wow. Pretty happy just to play around Wasteland here. There was a world there where I should have attacked with the Endurance as well, in case they have like Brazen Borrower and something else. Because currently without the Marit Lage, we only have 9 power in play. There's also 2 bolts in the bin already. Yeah, pretty tough one there, but I think potentially I should have attacked with the Endurance, but I guess it does open me up to Bolt. Library, Minsk, 1 Crop, 1 Caracas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's just what we did last time. Everything else is pretty solid. But yeah, double step there as well is pretty nice. They do have to attack with the DRC, so you only need the 1 for Pro Blue, which is nice, but hand worked out pretty well. I did like the patience from my opponent there. Obviously with the second Delver not Swords to Plowsharing the first one. This is a pretty great hand. I'm happy to keep this. I did cut Maze, but I kind of regret it. I just like playing with Maze. It's just a fun card to play with, but I went for the second Endurance in that slot. Actually, no, I went for a second Prismatic Ending kind of in that slot as like my extra removal spell. I don't mind trying to get this Reclaimer on online as fast as possible, so I'm actually going to Green Suns here for Dryad Arbor as a bit of bolt bait, because then we have 3 lands in the graveyard, which is really nice. And I mean, if it doesn't resolve, then we just have potentially a turn 2 Knight next turn. Yeah, being able to untap your creatures is really, really nice. The Delver not flipping either makes them probably want to Wasteland or deal with this at some stage. Could see DRC into Bolt. Oh wow, well this works as well. I mean, this is even better for us, because now we get to hold the path. We get our 3/3 creature as well. Hearse is actually pretty tough. Okay. We do have Prismatic Ending for it, which is nice. Has to be Bolt, yeah. That's quite nice because it allows us to hold up this fetch land still. But Hearse is really annoying. think now I'm kind of just on the 2020 plan. Endurance is also quite nice here. Don't want to care about this just yet either. Okay, that's really good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably happy to throw this path away at the end step, potentially. Brought in Dead Gone. Oh, Rough Tumble, that makes sense. Interesting. Pretty happy to deal with that. It's actually pretty huge because now it turns on a few things. I guess that means they have a Murktide. probably just running this back, to be fair. The only change I think about is sometimes bringing in one library as like that sort of situation where you deal with a lot of the threats, but then you just don't really draw into gas, and library at least is a bit of a play around that. All right. The mana here is off, but pretty happy to see how it goes. Wow, that's pretty huge. Does it mean they don't have removal? Of course. Okay. I don't mind just trying to slam the knight here. Okay. What if I just get rid of the forest here that turns off submerge? I'll try it. So they're trying to buy time. I don't mind just getting stage and making them have to have Wasteland. Get my green source. Nice. Shiok. Okay. Oh my gosh, no, because they have the Ashiok out. That is just stupid. That is just stupid. Yeah. Haha. No shuffle? Yikes. Thanks, Autonomy. Sadly, not looking great. Yeah. I think it's a really hard time to get back into that game, so just gonna call it there. And probably... Hey, welcome back to Twitch. We are here looking at the list that we took to the Legacy Challenge last weekend, and wanted to go over some of our thoughts, I guess, post-challenge. This list in particular was pretty heavily targeting Delver, which we do have a 50-50, 55-45 sort of matchup against, and I really wanted to see if I could move that up to around 60%. And the main changes for that was the second Endurance in the main deck, having both copies of Prismatic Ending in the main deck to go up to 6 removal spells, and then only playing the 1 Minsk and playing 1 on the board. I also played the second Taiga as well as the Wooded Foothills, as just a way to make sure my mana was always online. Especially post-board, having access to red mana outside of Mox Diamond is pretty crucial, especially against Murktide Regent. Blast is typically just our best removal spell. It's always pretty interesting, the kind of ballet between holding a Swords to Plowshares against the 1 mana drops. You don't really want to use a Swords on a Delver, but if you do start to feel like it is the threat they're going to lean on, then you do have to go towards it. But typically if I have a Swords or Prismatic in hand, I'm not going to go after Delver in the early turns. If it's a DRC, it's a whole different ballgame, but I'll typically let a Delver hit me a few times before they play a second threat, or before I realize that they're going all in on sort of a Protect the Queen type approach. So the Blast in the sideboard help a lot. We're also playing the extra 2 Path-to Exiles in the sideboard as just another clean removal spell. I'm more than happy to give them a land, especially in the mid to late game. compared to having an actual threat on board like a Murktide that's obviously going to finish it off pretty quickly. The list otherwise is pretty stock. I didn't want to change up too much to lose percentage points against other decks, but probably the one thing that I regret a little bit is not playing Outland Liberator in the main deck. I think this card is really strong as a Green Sun's target, and although it doesn't have too much game against Delver, if anything, I think it's just worth having in the main deck as a Green Sun's way to get rid of just random artifacts in game 1 against decks like 8 cast or lands, or even Death and Taxes. It's just a nice out to have. Minsc and Boo has kind of changed my perception of that, because typically the card that I'm really scared of game 1 is Ensnaring Bridge, which we do have Prismatic Ending for, and Minsc can of course throw a large creature over a bridge, which is quite nice, so that's kind of my reasoning for why I put the Outland Liberator in the sideboard for the extra endurance, because we still have 3 outs to bridge in Minsc Prismatic Endings. So that was kind of the reasoning for it, and also just finding the room for the endurance also meant that I had a bit more game against some of the graveyard decks that are running around, like Reanimator. I probably should have had a better idea of the combo decks going into the challenge and what I should be thinking of, because the Surgicals in the board were really there for Reanimator, which I do see a fair amount of in leagues, and I have seen it do quite well in some challenges, but potentially the Surgicals aren't relevant, and I should have gone for further endurances instead. It's just always nice to have sort of different types of 8 for graveyard, and having both surgical and endurance is quite nice, because there are hands that you get where you have a pretty nice hand, but endurance is your only green spell, and so you have to kind of mulligan against a deck like Reanimator or Ooh. The 2 Force are pretty good as well. I did want to add in a third. I think Force is just so good against the decks that you want it against, so 8 cast, lands, decks where you want to be able to interact with their artifacts or enchantments most likely on turn 0. So Force is really strong there, and I'm not too sure if Liberator is good enough to be a sideboard card. Like, that makes it sound weird if I want to put it in the main deck, but I think it's just not as impactful as Force of Vigor number 3, but it is nice to have in the deck against some of the sort of Bant control decks, or decks where they have one-off artifacts or enchantments like Sylvan Library. It's just nice to be able to answer them through a Green Sun's target, and you obviously don't really want to bring in Force of Vigor against a deck like that. The 2 parts were pretty good, but they are really awkward in other creature matchups where the early mana counts. So Death and Taxes is a fantastic example where Path on a Mum feels really bad. I was thinking about Bolt for a little while, because Bolt also deals with Minsc, which is quite nice. It deals with Magus of the Moon, it deals with DRC and Delver. It obviously doesn't deal with Murktide, but Path is kind of the only card that deals with the suite of flyers out of Delver. You could play Runafowl, but again, that's very narrow, and I don't like that it can give your opponent the choice of what to remove. It doesn't always deal with Murktide. They could choose to, have a flip Delver that goes to that. So, like, maybe Pass is just a necessary evil that I have to deal with. Dead Gone is another pretty cool one. I thought of Dead Gone as a removal spell because it allows me to deal with Magus and Goblins. It deals with the turn 1 Mum, or even if I want to go after mana in the early game against an opponent, it deals with an early Reclaimer. And if the Reclaimer or Knight or opposing Marit Lage is big, we can just bounce it as well. So it kind of deals with most of Delver's threats as well, especially post-board where you can control the graveyard and keep a DRC as a 1-1 a little bit easier, especially in a version with probably more endurances over those surgicals. So Dead Gone's definitely something that I want to try out a little bit more, but Bolt is also reasonable. But it's just a tough one to have in the board. Like, boarding into Bolt is a little bit weird. You could potentially play the Bolts in the main deck and then play Prismatic Ending in the sideboard, but again, it's kind of a flexibility issue. It obviously comes down to your meta as well. Prismatic Ending just being so flexible is really, really nice, and Bolt sometimes not being the greatest top deck can be a little bit tough. Also, the Deafening Silences I went down to 2 because of the surgicals and the blasts in the sideboard. I thought I had a lot of turn 1 sort of answers to combo, but I could definitely see probably moving away from the 2 surgicals, adding in a 3rd endurance to the board, and then 1 more deafening silence. I think silence is just our greatest speed bump against combo that gives us time to either hopefully draw into more hate or combo off before they can. That's kind of the 2 big things. Yeah, I think overall the deck choice was nice. I think that when you're looking at decks like Death and Taxes, Maverick, and Depths, which is what I'm kind of looking at in regards to a challenge, I think that having the Oops I Win button is quite nice. I think it's pretty important these days to have a deck on the fair spectrum where your opponent can't always tap out. I think with Maverick, your opponent can tap out a lot. With Death and Taxes, your opponent can tap out a lot, but with Depths, it can be a case of, oh, you're tapped out? Okay, well, we're just going to go for the combo, and you most likely don't have something like Submerge or some other route. So I do like that. It's taxing in that way, where it does make your opponent think of, oh, okay, well, we've seen a Green Suns, we've seen a Knight. Are they on Depths or are they on Maverick? Like, if they're on Depths, we can't really tap out here. Like, we have to at least bluff that we have some sort of interaction. So I think that, yeah, Depths having also just the nut hands of sort of a turn 2 combo for a turn 3 win is quite nice with Moxtime and Yavimaya, 1 piece of the combo and crop rotation. And obviously just has that grind as well. Like, I was thinking of Green-Black Depths or Turbo Depths or Rainbow Depths, but I really like that you have the backup plan of Reclaimer or Knight. Or if you're on the mid-range plan of Reclaimer and Knight, you have the backup plan of Marit Lage. So it's obviously pretty nice. The only other thought I had was a second Sylvan Safekeeper, just because of how good it is against the Swords to Plowshares deck, Death and Taxes, Blue-White X control. But is it really needed? That's the big question, because I know I'm not going to play it in the early game when I don't have the resources to save it. So I am going to play it in the late game. So other than discard, there's no real way for my opponent to deal with Safekeeper until I'm ready to deploy Safekeeper. So I don't think a second copy is the answer. But obviously it's really nice. And to be fair, like, I have been thinking about going down on Thespian stage to 2, so just a 2-2 split. I believe Dan Neely, who's been championing the deck in paper, has moved to that, which would allow me to potentially even play an extra land. Probably the 3rd basic. I was on the 3rd basic for a while, and I really do like having the 3 basics in the deck, which means you only need like 1 jewel to play around days for endurance or night. So against Delver, I think if I was actually going after Delver, the extra fetch helps because I am going to be quite patient with Reclaimer and making sure it's a 3-4 when we deploy it, unless my hand lines up otherwise. The second Taiga I could see coming out for the extra forest. I think that Wooded Foothills being my kind of additional red source is enough. So I could see something like adding in a forest, taking out the second Taiga. Like, we do have Moxes, and 1 of each is fine. We do have the extra Foothills. We do have Ramen up to get it back. And then taking out the Surgicals. I believe I have 1 more Endurance on the board, and then 1 more Deafening Silence. I think this is looking pretty strong. I do like the extra Outland Liberator, at least in the main deck, but it's really tough to find the space, and it could potentially be a Prismatic Ending slot, but again, like, I could see something like this, to be fair. This is still 61, which I'm happy to play, especially in a deck like this with so many tutorable elements. I feel like having that 61st card is just going to be better than the downside of playing the extra 1 card. Like, having Outland Liberator in the deck is most likely going to win me more matches in my first 50 matches than having that extra card. We also talked about dropping the stage. I don't mind 28 lands. I think 28 lands is probably the minimum that I would go for the main deck, but having this sort of mana base is really tight, especially with the second forest. Yeah, honestly, like, this is looking quite clean. I don't mind this. I think if anything for leagues, I'd like to have the second Minsk in the main deck, and potentially move away from just having the prismatics in the sideboard, which allows me to green suns for Liberator if I really need to find it out some sort of artifact or enchantment. But yeah, it really comes down to sideboarding. Like against Delver, I like taking out the libraries, Minsk's, the Liberator. Like the Knights, like the Endurances, like the Bremenap. That's 5, and then we kind of have a fair amount to bring in, which is 2, 4, 6, 8. So I guess I could look at potentially changing that around, but I think that's something that I can do. I think a really good thing to do is once you have a list like this, print out a few copies, and then go through sideboarding. Go through Delver, what would you take out, cross out, and then tick next to your sideboard what you would bring in, and try to mix and match a little bit to suit what you think is going to work. But again, I'm a fan of 61, so like we could play a Prismatic in the main deck. That brings us down to 14 cards. Like I could see another sort of bear in the board, but yeah, I think there is the kind of established 55, 65 of depths, and then there's sort of that 10 where you get a bit of creativity, and I think that's where it comes into play. Where you play? Do you play online? Do you have a local metagame? Do you want to shift towards decks that you play against regularly? Yes. So yeah, I think the deck list was strong. I think I could have probably got a little bit more reps with Naya Depths before I got in. And then another thing is, and I've said this a few times on stream, is just thinking out loud more before I do, because a lot of the times I'll think a little bit, I'll say what I'm thinking, I'll make my play, I'll then dive into it a bit more and then realize, hey, I actually should have done this. And then that snowballs into a loss when really should have been either a closer match because of that decision, or a win. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is my first challenge for 2022 and my first time I've actually gone back through my matches and had a look. So let me know if you like this content. Definitely consider following the channel if you do, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.